Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udiraye. Before reciting Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one must offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. By regular attendance in the classes on Srimad Bhagvatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. गुरुवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः नमो पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रिये कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः. Hare Krishna. Dear Vaishnavas, thank you so much for joining. Today is a very, very special day. It's the appearance day of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj as per the English calendar, and also it is the installation ceremony of our beloved Shri Nitai Chaitanya, Daya Nitai Chaitanya, our deities, which have been trying to serve in some insignificant way. So we just completed Canto 8, Chapter 5 of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the Demigods Appeal to the Lord. So we will do a quick summary, we'll take some reflections, and then we will move on to the next chapter, which is the truce between the demigods and the demons. So in Canto 8, Chapter 5, the discussion about the fifth and the sixth Manu begin to happen. Okay, so in the first 4 chapters, we discuss about the first 4 Manvantaras. Manvantar is a division of Kalpa, or more particular, 1/14th division of a Kalpa, which, because one Kalpa has 14 Manus, and one Manu has 71 Chaturyugas, 71 cycles of Satyayuga, Dwapar, Treta, and Kali Yuga. So, and Manu rules for that period of Manvantara. So we discussed the 4 Manvantaras, then we discussed in the 4th Manvantara how Gajendra was saved by Lord Hari. In the 5th Manvantara, namely Raivata Manvantara, and the 6th Manvantara, namely Chakshusha Manvantara, the first few verses of 1 to 10 talk about who were the personalities, the demigods, the Ishwaras, etc., and how the Lord appeared as Vaikuntha in the 5th and Ajita in the 6th Manvantara. Then there is a story. What happens? Parikshit Maharaj inquires about this churning of the ocean, because in text number 6, it was briefly mentioned the Supreme Lord's great activities are described with his glorious qualities. So it was a hint was given, but a devotee is very, very inquisitive. So in text number 11 to 14, Parikshit Maharaj is inquiring from Shukdev Goswami, please tell me in more detail. 4 questions were asked. Number 1, why and how did Lord Vishnu churn this ocean of milk? And why did he stay in the water like a tortoise, Kurma, and hold Mandara mountain? And how did the demigods get the nectar? So all these questions he had asked. And what other things were produced from the churning of the ocean? So it shows great eagerness, inquisitiveness, submissively approaching spiritual master. These are the qualities of a genuine student or disciple. Then, who is narrating story? Shukdev Goswami is telling this story. Once upon a time, Durvasa Muni gave this Maha garland to Indra. And Indra said, hey, I'm Indra. I'm great. Didn't pay much attention. Gave it to the elephant Airavata. Airavata, said, what will I do with garland? He just trampled over the garland and it was an aparadh. Tadiya Nam Samarchanam. Anything connection with Vishnu is great, whether it is the Mahaprasadam, the holy name, or Vaishnavas, deities, Prasadam, the paraphernalia, etc. It's all transcendental. So Durvasa Muni cursed, hey, you didn't respect this properly, then you will lose all your power. He lost all his power and the demons attacked. And Indra was powerless. As a result, he approached Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma then induces everyone to be in the mode of goodness and go to whom? Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Father. Then they all go to the impartial Lord Vishnu, or the wonderful qualities of Lord Vishnu are explained, that how Lord Brahma and the demigods approach the Shweta Deepa, the ocean of milk, and they sing prayers. From text number 26 to text number 50, a lot of prayers are discussed about the Lord's presence, potence, and how the yogis worship. And also then about the Virat Rupa, discussion is there about the Lord's, that how the ears are represented, the feet represents the earth, the mind represents the moon, the mouth represents fire, then all the detailed description is mentioned. But we discussed that how a devotee wants to understand more the personal form of the Lord. And then finally, long story short, very, very nice verses to remember, 47, 48, and 49. There is material equation and there is spiritual equation. Material equation is very, very lot of hard work for those who are embodied or those who are too much attached to the bodily platform. Lot of hard work, result infinitesimal. Infinite effort, infinitesimal result. But for spiritualists, infinitesimal effort, infinite result. Niya Vikramanashaste. Very, very nice verses. The glories of devotional service are explained. And then, just like one waters the trunk or the root, all the branches are watered. Similarly, when one worships Kṛṣṇa, all the demigods, all the other energies of the Lord are naturally happy. So this is in brief chapter number 5, entitled The Demigods Approach Lord Vishnu. And also today we have a very special devotee joining, Subrat Roy Prabhu. Hare Kṛṣṇa, we are so blessed that you are joining. Thank you. You want to share quickly about yourself, a little bit?
Okay, Prabhu, I'm Subrat Roy. I am originally from Bangladesh. I came to USA this 2020 in January. I'm doing a PhD at Arkansas State University. This is my first year. And after coming here, I actually thought that when I'll go to USA, maybe I will get a lot of devotee association there. But after coming here, I searched online, and one time I went to Little Rock Temple, and actually searching for devotees, I called Bhamsi Vilas Das Prabhu. Okay, in February or March, then then 2 or 3 days ago, I called again him. How can I thought that in Memphis maybe there is a big devotee association is going, or many devotees are there. Then I heard that no, and there is only now this Bhamsi Vilas Prabhu is there. So actually, I am searching this association. I'm very happy to be here. Okay, I will try to continue with you all.
We are so happy to have you. We have Subrat Kumar Prabhu and we have Vipul Roy Prabhu. So now we have Subrat Roy Prabhu. So we have so many wonderful devotees from Bangladesh, India, and all over the world. So I'm sure you will find a spiritual family in here. and anything we can do to serve you in any aspect, not just spiritual life, please feel free to consider us as your family, and we will do our best to serve you. So let's welcome Subrat Roy Prabhu by loudly chanting 3 times. Hari Bol,
Hari
Hari
Bol,
Bol, Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol, Hari Bol.
খুব ভালো।
ধন্যবাদ। Oh, is there any, maybe Bipul Rai Babu is Bengali?
Oh, we have a whole team of Bengali. We'll bring the whole Bengal here too.
I think. Okay.
Yes, there's a lot of devotees.
So,
and his family.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
Prabhu, I have.
Yes, tell.
As I am new here, like in Arkansas, I have heard from Bhamsi Vilas Prabhu that maybe in Little Rock and in maybe there are other 2 places, there are the devotees. So where are you from? You are from out of Arkansas, or
That's a great question. So, the devotees present in this call, myself, by the way, Shubhalas Govindas, most of the devotees present, about 70%, are in the Tampa area, Florida. I also am in the vicinity of Tampa, about an hour and a half, like how you're in the vicinity of Bhamsi Vilas Prabhu. So I am also an hour away from Tampa. 1 or 2 devotees are joining from India, 1 or 2 joining from Alachua, which is also in Florida, and some in Tallahassee. So let's put it this way. Someone asked me this question. 90% of the devotees are from US, 10% from India. Within that 90%, the next 90% or 80% are from Florida in US, from that 90%. And from that 80%, about 50%, 60% are from Tampa. Okay, so you are a PhD student, so you'll understand this better.
Yeah.
Does that help? And slowly you'll get to know everyone.
Yes,
but
yes.
We
Actually,
are blessed. Slowly you'll get to know. Vipul Prabhu conducts a Bengali class also on Sundays on Bhagavad Gita. Yes, Prabhu, you can tell me about it.
Yes, Prabhuji, Subrat Prabhu, Hare Krishna. So
Hare Krishna.
I'll call you after the Bhagavatam class, and we'll have more information to you. And if you have any questions, we can share with you.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, so shall we start the new chapter with a new devotee and new spirits and see what happened? The demigods approached. Let's see what happened. Did they get their kingdom back, or did they lose, or did Lord Vishnu come? Let's see all that, right? You must all be eager and inquisitive. Okay, shall we start the new chapter? Or anyone has any comments or questions on the previous one? Okay, let's first read the questions will come. Okay, who would like to read summary? Yes, Vipul Prabhu, you want to start? You can read 1 or 2 paragraphs.
Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, all Vaishnava Srila Prabhupada. Chapter 6, the demigods and demons declare a truce. This chapter describes how the Lord appeared before the demigods when they offered him their prayers. Following the advice of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the demigods executed a truce with the demons for the purpose of churning nectar from the sea. Because of the prayers offered by the demigods in the previous chapter, Lord Shivaksha Vishnu was pleased with the demigods, and thus he appeared before them. The demigods were almost blinded by his transcendental bodily effulgence. At first, therefore, they could not even see any part of his body. After some time, however, when Brahma could see the Lord, he, along with Lord Shiva, began to offer the Lord prayers. Lord Brahma said, the Supreme Personal Godhead, being beyond birth and death, is eternal. He has no material qualities, yet he is the ocean of unlimited auspicious qualities. He is a subtler than the most subtle. He is invisible, and his form is inconceivable. He is worshipable for all the demigods. Innumerable universes exist within his form, and therefore he is never separated from these universes by time, space, or circumstances. He is the chief and the pradhan, although he is the beginning, the middle, and the end of the material creation. The idea of pantheism, conceived by Mayavadi philosophers, has no validity. The Supreme Personality of Godhead controls the entire material manifestation through his subordinate agent, the external energy. Because of his inconceivable transcendental position, he is always the master of the material energy. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, in his various forms, is always present even within this material world. But the material qualities cannot touch him. One can understand his position only by his instructions as given in Bhagavad Gita, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 10.10, Dadami Buddhi Yogamtam. Buddhi Yog means Bhakti Yog. Only through the process of Bhakti Yog one can understand the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna.
Silas Prabhu, want to read the rest?
Yes, Prabhuji, Dandar Pranam, everyone. When offered prayers by Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead was pleased. Thus, he gave appropriate instructions to all the demigods. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known as Ajita, unconquerable, advised the demigods to make a peace proposal to the demons, so that after formulating a truce, the demigods and demons could churn the ocean of milk. The rope would be the biggest serpent known as Vasuki, and the churning rod would be Mandara mountain. Poison would also be produced after from the churning, but it would be taken by Lord Shiva, and so there would be no need to fear it. Many other attractive things would be generated by the churning, but the Lord warned the demigods not to be captivated by such things. Nor should the demigods be angry if there were some disturbances. After advising the demigods in this way, the Lord disappeared from the scene. Following the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the demigods established a peace with Maharaj Bali, the king of the demons. Then both the demons and the demigods started for the ocean, taking Mandara mountain with them. Because of the great heaviness of the mountain, the demigods and demons became fatigued, and some of them actually died. Then the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, appeared there on the back of his carrier, Garuda, and by his mercy, he brought these demigods and demons back to life. The god The Lord then lifted the mountain with one of his hands and placed it on the back of Garuda. The Lord sat on the mountain and was carried to the spot of the churning by Garuda, who placed the mountain in the middle of the sea. Then the Lord asked Garuda to leave that place, because as long as Garuda was present, Vasuki could not come there. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. So, this is a summary. Should we summarize, Prabhuji? Or?
Looks like Nimai wants to summarize the summary.
Yes.
Yeah. If you want to share something, go ahead, Prabhu.
No, Prabhuji, it's just very exciting to read about the churning of the milk ocean, and so many wonderful lessons, especially Vaishnavanam Yada Shambhu, Lord Shiva saving everyone by taking the poison by himself. So very, very exciting to read this chapter. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Truce. Everyone knows the word truce.
peace or
Let's see what dictionary says. A suspension of fighting, especially of considerable duration by agreement of opposing forces. So I just looked because I didn't know exactly. I was like guessing, yeah, it should be something like that. But it's because Visheshika Prabhu often, does this thing to go into the meaning of the words to understand deeper. What is this? What are we discussing? And sometimes the words could be very simple, like humble. What does humble really mean? You go to the dictionary and understand the etymology. It's sometimes very helpful. So the title of this chapter is The Demigods and the Demons Declare a Truce, or a peace treaty, or suspension of fighting. And they come together, and then the churning of the ocean, etc. will come. So let's begin reading this wonderful chapter. And let's get started with verse number 1. Raise your hand if you're really excited to read and want to read. Any Matajis want to start? Yes, Kashish Mataji, want to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam to all devotees. Shri Shuka Uvacha Evam Stutah Surgarna Bhagvana Haririshwaraha Tesham Virabhuta Rajan Sahasa Kordaya Juttihi. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Sri Shukdev Goswami said, O King Parikshit, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari, being thus worshipped with prayers by the demigods and Lord Brahma, appeared before them. His bodily effulgence resembled the simultaneous rising of thousands of suns. So in this verse, they are describing about the effulgence of Sri Lord, that how beautiful was his body, and the brightness was such that even demigods couldn't open their eyes. And Brahmaji was the one to see the Lord, and gradually even demigods were able to see the Lord as well. So this describes the appearance of Lord in front of demigods and Brahmaji after they finished their prayers. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please add on.
Thank you so much. Yes, when you mentioned that point, after they finished their prayers, why did Lord appear? Because they called out. They called out sincerely from their heart in a state of helplessness, with desperate feeling, Lord, I want you, I need you, you are my master. They chanted so many wonderful, nice verses to glorify the Lord. And that is one of the limbs of bhakti called, what's that limb of bhakti called out of the 9 limbs? Who knows the Vandanam? Yes, Vandanam, offering prayers. It is a bona fide limb of bhakti as per whom? Who mentioned this shloka of 9 limbs of bhakti? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Prahlad Maharaj, yes. When his father asked him, what is the best thing you have learned? He said, this is the best thing. So, when we also chant the holy name, the Lord appears. The Lord is present. One devotee was mentioning that when we are sleeping and chanting, like lying down, the Lord is more eager to give his mercy. So he is sitting. Oh, my devotee is lying down and chanting, so Lord is sitting and hearing. But when the devotee is sitting and chanting, guess what the Lord is doing? The Lord is more eager. He stands up, more attention. Guess what then the Lord is, when the devotee is standing and chanting, and the Lord is more eager, the Lord starts dancing. And guess what? When one chants the names of Nitai Chaitanya, Bole Nacharaya Marman, when one dances at the names of Nitai and Chaitanya, guess what Lord does now? The Lord jumps in the heart of those devotees who chant and dance. Therefore, our movement is chant Hare Krishna, keep dancing, be happy. And that's how Prabhupada transformed the whole world. Prabhupada brought his dancing white elephants. One devotee was, you may have seen this, dancing white elephants with great spiritual pride. It's not it's not disrespectful, it's basically a lot of, that I am Prabhupada's elephant, dancing white elephants, because Indians were imitating the Westerns, so there were a lot of people in India took this message. So the point is that the Lord is present. Wherever yatra gayanti mad bhakta tatra tisthami narada. Wherever his name form qualities, wherever devotees call out Krishna's name in the form of prayer from the heart, Krishna is present. He will certainly come. We saw in the prayer of Gajendra. We saw in the prayers of Kardam Muni. So any example, any devotee, whenever anyone has called out, Krishna will certainly come. So here comes the Lord, resembling thousands and thousands of sun. Let's see what happens next. Who wants to read text 2? Yes, Babu, Kanayan Tabu, want to read? Punamachi?
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Tenaiva sahasa sarve deva patite kshanam napashyam kam disha shantim atmanam cha kuta vibhu. Can you scroll down? Translation: the vision of all demigod was blocked by the Lord's effulgence. Thus, they could see neither the sky, the directions, the land, nor even themselves. What to speak of seeing the Lord who was present before them? Yeah, by seeing the God, they are not able to see. It's such a bright, and they are not able to see anything. And when Lord is present, that happens. That is what I understood from Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. So we will see later, how can we see Lord? Right, the demigods right now are not able to see the effulgence, the thousands and thousands of suns of effulgence is covering that. So let's see the next verse. Next few verses are together. Text 3 to 7 are together.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
I have a question. So many times Lord appeared with the prayers by the devotees, but in Gita one time we see with Arjuna, and here one time we see so far. Probably it can come in the other chapters. So most of the time we did not see that Lord effulgence was so bright and not described like this. Why only these two times it was mentioned that so bright effulgence that nothing can be seen?
This two time means this time, and what's the second time you're referring to?
The Arjuna in the Gita on one to the universal form of the Lord.
Mm-hmm. Well, Krishna was present right there whole time. That's the personal form of the Lord. Universal form is the indirect, or it's not the real spiritual form. It's sometimes in Canto 1 Prabhupada mentioned that it's like a material form, or it's not the personal form. We'll see. So basically Krishna was there all the time with Arjuna. But to show his real opulence, and of course through the medium of Arjuna to all of us, sometimes Lord shows his this form. And I think the following few verses will really clarify this more. As a devotee worships, the Lord approaches accordingly. Right? Yathamam prapadyanti tam stataya bhajamiham. The demigods were worshipping whom? The universal form of the Lord. Then the Lord showed the universal form. right? We discussed in the previous verse, his eyes are like the sun, his mouth is like fire. So Lord Chaitanya showed his form to multiple devotees differently. Some as Lord Ram, and some as in different ways. He has the Shadabhuj form, 2 arms of Krishna, 2 arms of Lord Chaitanya, and 2 arms of Lord Ram. Shadabhuj, we were just reading 108 names of Lord Chaitanya. One of the names is Shadabhuja. So, Lord appears differently. We know the story of Lord Jagannath. To the Ganesha devotee, the Lord takes the form, the Gajavesha. So, he dressed as elephant. So this is these are the all forms and beauty of the Lord, that he takes the form as a devotee desires. Rajendra was calling out for the 4-handed Vishnu form. The Lord appeared as 4-handed Vishnu. And there we didn't read about the universal form. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Okay, let's read this set of 4-5 verses. Kirti Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhu, I can read. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam to everyone. Canto 8, Chapter 6, text 3 to 7. Viricho Bhagavan Drushtava Saha Sharvena Tam Tanum Swachamara Kata Shamam Kajja Garbha Runekshanam Tapta Hemavadaten Lasat Kausheya Vasasa Prasannacharu Sarvangi Sumukhim Sundarabhruvam Mahamani Kiritena Keyurambhyancha Bhushitam Karna Bharana Nirbhata Kapolakshri Mukhambujam Kanchi Kala Pavalaya Haranupurashobhitam Kaustubha Varanam Lakshmi Pribhamti Vanamalinim Sudarshanadhibi Swasre Murti Madhvi Rupasitam Drushtavadeva Pravara Sharva Purusham Param Sarva Maragane Sankam Sarvanga Gaira Vanim Gate. Translation and purport by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Lord Brahma, along with Lord Shiva, saw the crystal clear personal beauty of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose blackish body resembles a Martaka gem, whose eyes are reddish like the depth of the lotus, who is dressed with garments that are yellow like molten gold, and whose entire body is attractively decorated. They saw his beautiful, smiling, lotus like face, crowned by a helmet decked with the valuable gems. The Lord has attractive eyebrows, and his cheeks are adorned with earrings. Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva saw the belt on the Lord's waist, the bangles on his arm, the necklace on his chest, and the ankle bells on his legs. The Lord is bedecked with flower garlands. His neck is decorated with Kaustubha gem, and he carries with him the goddess of fortune and his personal weapon like his dish and club. When Lord Brahma, along with Lord Shiva and other demigods, thus saw the form of the Lord, they all immediately fell to the ground, offering their obeisances. So this is very nice description of the Lord they have given. and it is just like entire beautiful form of the Lord. And Prabhupada has mentioned that he is having the Kaustubhajam. He's carrying the goddess of fortune and Varnamala is on his chest. So that was like really beautiful form. And that's what I get it, Prabhu. You can add more. Means I can just explain this much only. They have a lot of things there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for reading this wonderful verses explaining the Lord's supreme personal beauty. Bhagavatam is the essence of all scriptures. So it's telling in fine details the Lord's color, not just gem, markata, like the crocodile. Markata is crocodile actually. There's a markata asana we do yoga class. Market like crocodile gem. His eyes are reddish like depths of a lotus. So yellow molten gold colored garments, pitambara vastra. Tapta hema va dante vadatena. Entire body is very, very attractive. So all these are just, tell that the Lord is a person. Beyond his impersonal effulgence, beyond this millions of suns of light, there is a energetic. The energy comes from energetic. Like there's a big mercury bulb, and sometimes we may not be able to even see that, right? Very, very high, light. We may not be able to even see that. But when we train ourselves to see that through some special eyes or special glasses, then we can see, oh, there's a bulb behind it. Correct? And what are those special eyes? Lord Brahma and who? Shiva have those special eyes. Premanja Chorita Bhakti Vilochanena. Those who are trained with the eyes of devotion, they can see the personal form of the Lord. We saw that recently in the video also. Remember that? That's also about truce. Kṛṣṇa went as a peace messenger in the Sabha of Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana. Sumukhin Sundara Bhurvana. Sundara Bhuvan. He's very, very sundar, smiling face. His crown is mentioned. His ornaments are mentioned. His cheeks are mentioned. His face is mentioned. Mukhambojam. He wears a belt also. All these are very personal forms. So other scriptures or other religious groups, they don't really talk about God as a person. They talk about, oh, God is nature, God is love, God is something, God is everything. But God is a person. Supreme Lord. What does he wear? What does he dress? What does he look like? What's the color of the skin? What does his face look like? What kind of ornaments he wears? So Bhagavatam is telling in great detail. And Shukdev Goswami is writing this. Brahma and Shiva are seeing it personally. So this is not some fairy tale. This is the Sakshat Darshan of the Lord. What else is mentioned? He bears weapons like disc and club, Sudarshana. So he moves with beautiful flower garlands, Vanamali. That's another name of Lord. So this verse is actually very, very beautiful. Yes. You can try to remember some of the words and glorify the Lord by saying Vanamali, it's the name of Lord. So many nice adjectives are used And then one last very, very important point. As soon as Brahma and Shiva saw the darshan of the Lord, they fell down on the ground, basically prostrated. So Brahma and Shiva are also prostrating to Lord Vishnu, knowing, oh, our master has come. So that's what happens in ISKCON temples actually. Every day darshan opens, Shri Radha Shyam Sundar Krishna Balaram Gaur Nitai Ki Jai. Everyone, Dandavat. That's the first thing. See, it's coming from Bhagavatam only. Prabhupada is not making new things. He's just giving the core essence. And what do we do then? Then we offer obeisance, we offer prayers, starting with Guru Pranam Mantra. We offer the prayers. So that's what the Mahajans are. Mahajano Yenagata Sapanta, Brahma and Shiva are great Mahajans amongst the 12 Mahajans. So beautiful features of the Lord, his ornaments, his color, etc. are described in this wonderful verse. Any other comments, any questions, additions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So happy Brahmotsav to the wonderful deities with you, Noel, Nitai, Chaitanya. So this is a wonderful verse that is actually describing the Lord on a special day, that is their appearance day with you, Prabhuji. So good to read this verse on a special day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's very, very special verse, yes. And also we can dress the Lord with nice ornaments, garlands, jewels, dhoti, tilak, kurta, and meditate upon these verses. Lotus-like face. This is very good for meditation actually. This is real meditation. To meditate on the form of the Lord. Oh, what is the Lord wearing? What does its helmet look like? Oh, what kind of mala does he wear? Oh, what kind of earrings? Oh, crocodile shape. Oh, sometimes he wears shark shape also. Lasat kundalam gokule vrajam. Oh, they are swinging to and fro and they are kissing the cheeks of Krishna. Oh, wow, Haribol, wonderful. Oh, what does his dhoti look like? What does his lips look like? We can just absorb ourselves.
Okay, I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
So here it is described here the figure or all the personality of Godhead or Lord Krishna, but there are some people in our religion, also in Hindu culture, they don't believe the figure of God. So what is their references and why they are in that way? They think that God is figureless or like that.
Yes, that's called the impersonalist, who don't believe in the personal form of the Lord. And one thing which people say, oh, I have a form. If God also has a form, then what's the big deal between me and God? Right? So God should be something great, having effulgence like millions of suns. Oh, that sounds great. That sounds like God. His arm should be like a mountain. That sounds something exciting. So they believe in mountain as God sometimes, some rivers as God, that's called pantheism, which will come very shortly actually. Or God is nature, God is mountain, God is sun, God is this, God is that. Oh, form. Even Brahmaji gets confused what to speak of ordinary people. So therefore, understanding from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, we are so blessed, we are so fortunate, we can't count our good fortune. Bahunam janmanamante. What's that verse? Vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatmadu.
Bhunam janmanamante gyanamang mang prapaddate. Vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha.
Thank you. Out of many, 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 many births, millions of lifetimes, it takes to understand that the Supreme Lord Vasudeva is Sarvam, is everything, sum and bonum, is the Bhagavan of all Bhagavans. So their conclusion is based on lack of reading scriptures or bona fide scriptures, lack of bona fide guru, and just, oh, my uncle said this, oh, my mom said this, oh, my this said this, or one's own speculation. But if one honestly and sincerely tries and is eager to inquire from Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, then Srila Prabhupada and bona fide guru, then we will come to the right conclusion that Krishna is a person. Does that help? Thank you. Okay, it's almost time, so I think today we can just meditate upon this form of the Lord, and tomorrow we will see what next happens. There's one more devotee has joined, Divya Kṛṣṇa. Prabhu, can you please unmute and say something, like where are you joining from? Is it first time, or how you got to know all that stuff? Can you hear me? Can you unmute and speak something? Divya Kṛṣṇa. Prabhuji or Mataji, I'm not sure.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Can you please tell a little bit about yourself? Where are you joining from? Which city, country, world?
Divya Krishna.
कहाँ रहते हो? हिंदी बोलते हो?
I speak Hindi. Hindi बोलता हूँ.
अच्छा, कहाँ रहते हो?
Malad.
मलाड,
Mumbai.
बॉम्बे.
Mumbai.
Very nice. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
कितना उम्र है आपका?
8 साल.
8 साल. अरे वाह.
8.
बहुत अच्छा, बहुत खूब. थैंक यू दिव्य कृष्ण प्रभु. बहुत सुंदर आपका नाम है, दिव्य कृष्ण. आज हमने उन्हीं के बारे में पढ़ा, that how Lord is so transcendental. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Any other comments, questions anyone has, dear Vaishnavas, before we stop?
Oh, Hare Krishna, Bipul Roy Prabhu. So how can I contact you after finishing this meeting? You told.
Yeah, I'll get your number from the Bhagavatam group and I'll give you a call.
Okay.
Okay, dear Vaishnavas, so please read this verse before you go to bed, and then you will have amazing meditation on the Lord the whole night. Okay, so we will pause here and continue tomorrow with the next verse and see what Lord Brahma and Shiva speak. Granthraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.